Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey. We're diving into some more Cowboys rumors. First up is the guaranteed money, part of the issue for the Dak Prescott non-extension. I'm inclined to believe this one 3 stars for me. Comes to us from the Dallas Morning News, and I guess their update of the report, at least I didn't see it originally, was that initial training camp offer the Cowboys made to Dak had a guarantee of $90 million, which is significant. Obviously, it's a lot of money, but it's also less than what Carson Wentz and Jared Goff got on their contracts. And the little details like that, maybe not little, but the under-the-radar details like that, not so much the per year, but other stuff like the guaranteed money, the structure of that guaranteed money, how long the deal is, those things, I believe, are why there is no extension. Now, if it was 90, I suspect that maybe it got bumped up, and of course it will be bumped up as the deal gets closer to being done. That's significantly less than the guarantees for the other top highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. Jared Goff got 110. Carson Wentz got 108 almost. Russell Wilson got 107. That's a pretty significant difference between Dak Prescott and for Jared Goff. I know there's a sticker shock involved there on that price tag, but my mindset's actually this. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, does the difference in guaranteed money really impact you all that much? I know it's a lot of money, but at the price tag you're operating with, you're probably going to get that money. Once you hit that $90-ish million price tag, you're going to be paying your quarterback a significant amount of money, between $90 million guaranteed and $120 million guaranteed. In the end, the quarterback's probably going to get all that if he plays the way you think he's going to. So for me, guaranteed money wouldn't be a big sticking point, but a difference of $20 million, that's kind of a big deal for a player and his agent. Now we're going to dive into more rumors, but first, the Cowboys hat sale is still ongoing, up to 40% off at chatsports.com/Cowboys hats. That is chatsports.com/Cowboys hats. Check the description, comments too. I've got that link in there for you guys. All types of styles, all types of fits, all variety of hats are available and on sale right now. It is chatsports.com/Cowboys hats. You can go check it out today. A reminder, I don't know how much longer the deal will last, but if it is, we'll keep letting you guys know. Talk trades. I've been talking about this type of trade here. How about trading for a tight end? I am very intrigued by this option. Of course, it takes 2 to tango, so we'll give it 2 stars on this one. There are some targets out there that I think would make some sense. Some we've talked about previously on the show. The ESPN and beat reporters for the NFL teams mentioned some players due for a change of scenery. David Njoku, O.J. Howard were mentioned by ESPN. I would, at minimum, call those teams like, hey guys, what do you want for your promising tight end, young tight end, still on their first contract? I think O.J. Howard's more expensive than David Njoku, but if I bring in one of those guys, I feel a lot better about my tight end situation going forward. Jason Witten, whatever. Blake Jarwin, he's an RFA. He probably will be back, but are you convinced Blake Jarwin is your best bet as a tight end 1? I'm down to give him a shot, but I also have to be aware of, okay, what else is out there? And there are 2 intriguing options. David Njoku, the Browns, that athletic tight end, and then there's O.J. Howard. Now, they're both promising players. Howard has proven more, and Njoku very much appeared to fall out of favor in Cleveland last year, while Howard, well, he just wasn't really involved in the offense for whatever reason. Hey, maybe it was falling out of favor as well. I like them both. I think O.J. Howard would be a little bit more expensive. Despite that, I would still make my first call to the Bucs about O.J. Howard. Be like, hey, I know he's going to cost more. Can we get Howard in Dallas for a second-round pick? I'd start with a third-round pick, willing to go up to a second-round selection. So which one would you rather have? I like O.J. Howard. I think he has more talent. But David Njoku probably costs a little bit less and might offer you a little bit more as an athletic tight end. But it's not like O.J. Howard's slow. So because of that, even though it's more expensive, I'd go after O.J. Howard. And if you don't trade for him, you best believe I'm watching him in the future for free agency. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you might get it with an ad break here. If you do, scroll on down to the pinned comment. I've made this question at the pinned comment, and you can cast your votes right there. Next up on the Cowboys rumors roundup, how about Vic Beasley to Dallas for $16 million? No. How about absolutely not, ESPN? Yeah, fake news on this one. ESPN was doing their fun little, tracking different outcomes if certain players sign where. One of them ended up being one of the end moves was Vic Beasley to Dallas on a 1-year, $16 million deal. You guys serious? No. Why would I give Vic Beasley $16 million for 1 year? I mean, shit, I have a tough time giving Vic Beasley $16 million over 2 years. That's probably a much more accurate price tag. That's a ridiculous amount for an inconsistent player. Beasley on a 1-year cheaper deal for $5 or $6 million, I'm in. Vic Beasley on a 1-year, $16 million deal? Hell no. Absolutely not. Heck, Robert Quinn is a better player, and he's probably cheaper than 1 year, $16 million. I'm not going to pay Quinn $16 million per year, but I'd give it to him a lot faster than I would Vic Beasley. Beasley has never been a truly consistent player. Even in his 2016 year when he had 15.5 sacks, those numbers were kind of inflated. Now, Vic Beasley has always done a better job of converting pressures into sacks, but his pressure rate has always been, for the most part, beyond 2016, around 9%, 9.5%. That is not a $16 million player. Now, defensive end is in need, and again, I am open to bringing in Vic Beasley on a 1-year deal to prove it across from DeMarcus Lawrence, and if he balls out, great, then we can reconsider the price tag. But if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, and yes, you can re-sign everybody you want, but you also have to make good financial decisions, which is true for every NFL team, regardless of how much you're paying your quarterback. But you're about to pay a lot of money to players. You can't be throwing $16 million at Vic Beasley. Jesus, if the Cowboys throw that money in Vic Beasley and let Byron Jones walk, I would be just so incredibly furious, or probably let Quinn walk in that scenario as well. Now, speaking of money, if you want to make some money, head over to BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys120. Maybe you've been watching the XFL. If you have been, you can make some money betting on it. The XFL, all kinds of bets available on BetDSI. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys120. Next up, let's talk about Byron Jones. Do other NFL teams covet him? Of course they do. 4 stars on this one, kind of a no-brainer. The Eagles and more recently the Denver Broncos have been heavily connected to Byron Jones. Assuming he hits the open market, Byron's going to be one of the most coveted players. And if the Cowboys get it done with Dak and Amari Cooper, and the Chiefs get it done with Chris Jones, you're looking at easily a top 5 free agent, if not top 3 free agent. I know the takeaways aren't there, but Byron Jones has been a lockdown corner. Amid the reports out of the Dallas Morning News, the Cowboys don't want to pay him $12 million. That bothers me, because he's worth $12 million. If you don't want to make Byron the highest paid corner in the NFL, I understand that. He's not the best corner. I understand your disconnect with doing that. I get it. I would be a little more willing, but it's not for everybody, and I understand that. I'm not going to hate you for it. You don't want to pay Byron $12 million. Come on, guys. What are we doing out there? That's not even top 10 cornerback money. I know the interceptions aren't there. Byron Jones this year, guys, allowed below 57% completion percentage and 331 yards. Those are ridiculously good numbers. Think about it this way. Byron Jones often matches up against number 1 receivers, or at least just plays his side, and he gets number 2 receivers. 331 yards. That's it. Teams did not throw at Byron because they don't want to throw at Byron, because they respect him. The best way to evaluate NFL talent, look at what other teams think of your players. They like Byron Jones a lot. So will the Cowboys end up losing Byron Jones in free agency? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I still hope that there's a way they can get the deal done, but Byron's market isn't as great as I think it's going to be, or as his camp thinks it's going to be. But if Byron hits the open market, I don't see him coming back to the Cowboys in 2020. Speaking of Byron, if he leaves, you got to find a replacement for him. So what about Kristian Fulton? Could he be a dream target for the Cowboys? I'll give this one 3 stars. Bleacher Report called it the dream target. I don't know if it's the dream, but I think it's a dream, so I'll give it 3 in the end here. I think he's going to end up being cornerback 2, at least for me. Not done yet. I do factor in Combine. Behind Jeffrey Okudah, who you're not going to get at number 17 overall. Fills a big-time need, and he played pretty damn well at LSU. Now, there certainly are other players who fit that mold of a dream target that we'll get to here in just a second. But Fulton, I think, is worthy of number 17 overall. I think he is a more realistic dream target than others on the list that we'll get to in a second. And he played great at LSU. Look at the coverage stats per Pro Football Focus. Not very high completion percentage. Frankly, didn't have his best stuff against Clemson, but he was also kind of banged up this year. And I know there's only one interception, 14 pass breakups. I would love a guy to have 7 interceptions each year. At the same time, if Kristian Fulton had 7 picks, he probably wouldn't be getting to 17 overall. So just keep that in mind. You're not going to find a flawless prospect at that spot. Now, there are some other dream targets. Isaiah Simmons, Jeffrey Okudah. I think they're going to be top 5, top 10 picks, so don't get your hopes up there. Maybe you get lucky and Derek Brown or Javon Kinlaw can both get past the Colts. Maybe that makes some sense. And then I'll throw out other names. Of course, the safeties, Grant Delpit, Xavier McKinney. I don't consider them dream targets. I consider them realistic targets. And maybe A.J. Epinesa kind of falls in that category. But you lose Robert Quinn, I wouldn't mind bringing in somebody like an Epinesa on this roster. So let me know in the comments section. Who is your dream round 1 target? If you want to throw in an Okudah, if you want to throw in a Derek Brown or a Simmons, I'll allow you. It's a bit of an unrealistic dream, but it's a dream. That's the whole point of them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. We'll wrap up here with some more draft talk. How about taking another interior offensive lineman? Oh, I don't like this idea. 1 star here. Blog and the boys went over some of the top targets in this year's draft, and I'm kind of like, but why? Backup center and guard is a need. Don't get me wrong on that point. Several of your top backups are going to be free agents. But this is far from your top need if you're the Dallas Cowboys. You have to fill out other needs first. Look, it's not that you don't want good depth. You always do. But it's the NFL. You can't have great starters and great depth at every position. That's just not how it works in the salary cap era. You have a good starting 5. You have a former third-round pick last year in Connor McGovern, who can also probably play some center if needed to. I know that Looney and Suafilo, your next interior guys, are free agents. You got 2 tackles who may or may not be back in Fleming, Knight, and whatever with Mitch Hyatt. So you do need some extra interior depth, but here's the problem. If you spend a premium pick on the offensive line, and a player, I remind you, ideally doesn't even play for you ever in 2020 or 2021, quite frankly, that means you didn't fill a need at one of your more important spots. You got to find 1, if not 2 corners. You got to find 1, if not some more depth at defensive end. You got to find multiple defensive tackles. You need a safety. You probably want a tight end. Heck, you probably got depth needs at receiver and linebacker, and those depth needs on the defensive line, on defense in general, they're going to play for you. Your interior offensive line, they're not going to get on the field. So if you want to take someone in round 6, round 7, okay, sure, that's fine. You want to spend a top 100 pick or a top 125 pick on an interior offensive lineman? That's really bad roster construction, and you're going to regret it on the field in 2020. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.